So the tech industry is going through the same thing that the music industry went through. I think that was like back in 2005 or 6 during the golden age of the mixtape era. So the reason why I say 2005 or 6 or whatever because I think that's around the time when Wayne started dropping all of his mixtapes, the prefix, the suffix, etc., right? That's when I like really got into the mixtape game. And before that, of course, I was downloading music like everybody else through LimeWire and what's the other one called? I don't know, but you get the point, right? So let me kind of explain. So during that time, what was happening was the music industry was kind of getting diluted because everybody was starting to drop mixtapes. And the reason why they started dropping the mixtapes is because the fans was finding out ways to download the music for free. Like people wasn't paying for it. And so artists started making their mixtapes. They just started you know, polluting the ecosystem with the music. And what ended up happening was the music record labels, they started losing money. And then shortly after that, we all know what happened. They started creating Spotify, Tidal, and all these other kind of streaming platforms as a way to kind of get back in control of the market so that they don't lose their money. But what ended up happening during that time is but what ended up happening during that time is the artists started to kind of get control of their own freedom, of their own rights, and I guess creative processes. And it showed the record label like, hey, you know, we have a voice and we want this done in this way. I want to drop this tape or this mixtape or whatever the case may be. And it kind of gave the artist power. At the same time, the record label, they still going to be in demand. They still going to be the people who, at the end of the day, we all end up going through and giving the money to. Big money take little, big bank take little bank. That's just the way it always is. It's the way it's always going to be, right? So the same thing is happening in the tech industry, right? With all of these AI tools out, you can be an engineer like myself and you can build anything. And so what's ended up happening is engineers like myself are leaving these tech companies and we're starting our own companies. We're starting our own projects. And what that's doing is not only is it taking away the talent from the big tech companies, but it's also creating competition with them. And what I see is going to end up happening is the tech companies are going to have to start to create their own streaming platform or whatever you want to call it as a way to get back in control because right now you can create an app as an engineer and it doesn't have to be as advanced or as complex as as one of these big tech companies. It only has to solve one problem, like one single problem that the customer really wants, and you take a piece of the market. And so what they're going to start doing is cutting into the pockets of these tech companies, and you already see it now. That's one of the reasons why they're laying off, the engineers, because they're like, not only were they not really making the money that they said they was making anyway, and believe me, I know, like I've been behind the scenes. I worked at a startup company, was the man, did all these things, so I know how the money flows, right? So not only was it taking away money, not only is it taking away money from these tech companies, it's also creating competition from them and taking away talent. And so what they're going to end up starting to do is, I believe, is find a way to get back in control of things. But that presents a great opportunity for engineers, or for software engineers, or for anyone who really want to start a tech company, right? Like right now is that prime part in between, just like how the mixtape game was, where any artist could just make up their own mixtape with the tools that they had disposal and just create their own mixtape and drop it and build up a brand and then get their money based on tours or just the buzz or hype or whatever the case may be. And that's the same thing that's happening right now. Like, this is the best opportunity for anybody who wants to make their own company, wants to have their own startup. You have tools at your disposal. It's the same time, it's the same opportunity for any artist who wants to just really get out there and do it. Not if you are an artist and you are not using these tools to like capitalize on, then you're missing the point. If you are an engineer, a software engineer, and you're not using these tools to like capitalize on, then you're missing the point. If you want that, follow me and I can show you how I do it. let's collab, let's network. You can reach me on the DMs on my email. Just reach out, man. I'm open. I'm always willing to share information and just do whatever I got to do to help out somebody else. So, peace, love, and light.